Good evening, Pittsburgh sports fans, and welcome to the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. Joining me are my co-hosts, Edward and Tracy. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Trace. Good evening, William.
Hi, Billy. Hi, Edward.
It's a rainy night here in the suburbs of the burg, but happy to be inside. Nestled in the confides and talking sports with you guys. Little bit of a change of pace here. We're going to have Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post Gazette, Steelers beat writer. He'll be joining us at 8:30. So we're going to do things in a little bit reverse order. We're going to open up talking some Pitt football. Talk a little Penguins, and then we should have Ray on the show by 8:30, and a lot of stuff we want to talk to Ray about. I know he was at the Mike Tomlin press conference, as he is every Tuesday. I was hearing him yesterday. He asked some questions to Mike Tomlin, so a lot of stuff. I got a list of things I want to pick his brain with. It's always great to talk to Ray. So, but. All right, without further ado, let's talk Pitt, man. 6-2. How about this? 6-2. I mean, they should be 8-0. I mean, Ed, you and I have talked about this ad nauseum before. You beat yourself at West Virginia, and you beat yourself really at home against Louisville. You kind of let the officiating kind of get to you. Yeah, and you just it just was kind of a meltdown. Heinstl is just – this kid has just been the catalyst that has put this program – I don't know, just has kind of revitalized this program. No offense to Holstein, but it just didn't seem like it was getting – it just seemed like he just wasn't – I don't know. There was just something missing there. Not to mention he was injured a lot. I mean, he was hurt often, and it seemed like every game, he was coming out, going into the tent, I don't know. So, but beating up on NC State Wolfpack 53-34, the homecoming game last Saturday. Like I said, Heinstl just keeps wowing us. 423 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a subpar game against Syracuse, but boy, I tell you what, are you a believer now, Ed? I mean, are you a believer, or do you need to see more?
Well, it's kind of strange because Narduzzi picked the wrong quarterback, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were both in camp, and what did he see in camp that chose him to go with Holstein? That's what I want to know. Yeah. Mickey Delaney, what's up, guys? What's up, Mickey? How are you doing, brother? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I mean, why did he choose Holstein over Heinstl? What was the major change? That he saw, or what was the not major change, but what was the thing that he said was just Holstein has a little bit more experience in this kid. I mean, obviously he's a true freshman. What was it? That's what I want to know. What was it that made him choose Holstein over Heinstl to start, and then go to Heinstl, almost midway through the season? I don't know. I don't have an answer. I would love to maybe. I don't know. Maybe when we got press credentials for Pitt basketball, maybe when maybe next year,
we'll have them.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to ask that to Narduzzi, maybe at some point in time. NC State, their defense struggled against Pitt throughout the game. I mean, they were really. I mean, aside from that, Hollywood Smothers with that 65-yard touchdown. When was that? Was that in like the second quarter? Aside from that,
yeah,
they were really never in this this game. They were really never in this game. I mean,
I just think that the new quarterback is just innovative with what he's doing. Maybe it was he didn't know the playbook as well, and they didn't want to take a chance on him. But now all of a sudden he keeps his eyes downfield and he's able to connect as he's moving. I think he's doing brilliantly right now. That doesn't mean he's going to continue the success, but I think he might even be taking it looks like a Ben Roethlisberger approach. Like he's trying to make it up as he goes, and the guys are reading off him or something.
Well, I think it's a combination of a couple things, too. I think it's the fact that there's not a lot of tape on him with his tendencies, which is a benefit to him. They have more tape on Holstein. And I think Trace, to Trace's point, he's exactly right. When you don't know what you don't know, and that makes you dangerous.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. And again, like I said, we'll be having Ray Fittipaldo here at 8:30 to talk Steelers. Like I said, we're going a little bit out of order, but yeah, I thought looking at it, I thought Blue Hicks had a good game, very good game. I mean, he was he was and I'll tell you what, NC State. When you look at it, NC State was I mean, they're not a. I don't know, Ed. What would you say? What do you think,
They're
Trace?
definitely not a pushover. They're well coached.
No, it is. That's what I was just going to say. They're not a pushover. It wasn't like you were facing, a team that had one win or something like that. You were facing a team that was, that was pretty good. I mean, they
adversary for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, and I know we saw. Reed go out. I think I did not see what did they come up. What did they come up with? What happened on that, Ed? Ed, I know you.
I watched. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and they didn't come out and say anything. He's going to miss any time.
Right.
To me, it looked ordinary, but you just never know. It's a violent game with a car crash every play. So some you walk away from, and some you don't. So I just think I don't think it's going to cause them any time at all. So that's the positive. I just think Narduzzi has that defense. They just swarm, Billy. Doesn't matter who it is. They come wave after wave after wave. And they can run the ball. They have two excellent running backs.
Boy, wouldn't you like to have the defense that Pitt has on the Steelers right now?
I mean, it's relentless. It is truly relentless. They stop coming.
No, and they don't. And they are violent too. They get after quarterbacks. They tackle well. That's one thing I noticed. Those guys hit and wrap up. They tackle to the ground,
especially the DBs.
Yeah. There's no, they get out the ball carrier. There's no, okay, let's kind of, stay back and figure out, no, it's go after the ball, and punish the ball carrier. I love it.
I mean, the fact that they have those corners that are able to tackle makes the defense they play possible.
Yeah,
that's right. I like watching it because it's like Western Pennsylvania football when they play.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what,
another level.
I am very excited about this Pitt team. I haven't been this excited about them for a long time. Not since the Kenny Pickett days. I mean, I'm very excited. I'm all in. I tell you what, I'm more invested in Pitt right now than I am the Steelers. I'm just saying. I mean, I really am. It's just, they're just so fun to watch. They're just so fun to watch. I watched because I was covering the Riverhounds Saturday, but I went back and watched that that game, and I'm just like, man, this is fun to watch. This is fun football to watch.
It truly is.
How about, I mean, even their kicking game? Trey Butkowski, 4 field goals. This kid, I mean, he's how
he gets these. I mean, last year he gets, for whatever reason, the guy can recruit. He's like, it's just he doesn't have a lot. They were talking about NIL. He doesn't have a lot, so I mean, he's doing it. He's just doing it a different way. He's offering kids the opportunity to perform, and they're performing.
Well, listen, I've at times been critical of Narduzzi.
We all have.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been some justifiable criticism. Yep. But I would say the good things that he does outweighs his shortcomings. Okay. But I'm going to say this, and just, I don't know the guy personally, but I know I know a couple coaches who have had players that played for them that were recruited by Pitt, and a couple that actually played for Pitt. And he is one of the most down to earth guys. What I've heard is like, he's a guy that'll, that'll meet you and ask things about you, and you'll see him maybe 6 months down the road, and he'll literally remember certain things about your family, certain things about, your last meeting with him. I mean, I think he's a very personable, genuine person. From I've talked to multiple people. I've talked to a handful of people who have had dealings with him, and I think I really believe that he's just, and I think that maybe is kind of it helps him in recruiting. He's a guy that's very sincere, and he just he's not a snake oil salesman like some of the coaches we've had. Todd Graham was I don't even want to say what he was, but I mean, there's been some questionable characters that we've had. So him being one of them. Keep an eye for freshman Kerr, an O lineman from Pitt from Richland. Steelers' only problem, mediocre Mike Fire Tom. We're gonna get to it, Todd. Like I said, we got it for Ray Fittipaldo coming on at 8:30. We got a lot of questions for him. We're gonna get into it, hash some of these things out because there's a lot to unpack with the Steelers. Pitt's offense was good. I mean, dynamic.
Yeah.
I thought that they made the most of each possession. Each possession ended in a kick, and that was great. They made, after a high-scoring first half, they made adjustments at halftime. They shut out NC State in the third quarter, and they allowed that offense to build that commanding lead. That's what you want to do. I mean, right? That's what you want to do, Steelers.
Right. The ability to make changes is clutch.
Yeah. I mean, I would say NC State's only bright spot in that game was Hollywood Smothers. I like him. That kid's he's a pretty dynamic runner. He's hard to bring down. Another guy, they had that receiver, Justin Jolly. I like him as well. So.
Yeah, and if you can imagine it, I mean, they host Georgia Tech. They beat Georgia Tech at home. Well, I'm sorry, it's away. They beat Georgia Tech away. They're number one in the ACC.
Yeah.
Right. That's when we said 7 wins, they would be bowl game bound and ready to go and everything else, man. It's very feasible at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, they should beat Stanford. That'll bring them to 7-2.
Yeah.
And then you just got to roll the dice with the last 3.
One other thing, I know we were talking about Trey Butkowski. He broke a Pitt record, guys. Converted 15 consecutive field goals. So I tell you what, man, he finds guys. He finds the kicking game's solid. The defense is solid. You've got a dynamic offense. I tell you what, it's just a fun ball club.
Fun to see it all come together finally.
You're right.
He's doing, what Narduzzi's, he's doing it Moneyball style. He's finding kids under the radar. I mean, the success he has with kickers and punters is ridiculous. The amount of people he puts in the NFL is ridiculous for a team that doesn't have a lot of NAL. I mean, we bang on him because his coaching is not top notch, but he's able to recruit, and his defenses they always get after it.
Yeah. All right, let's get into Stanford. Let's look at that. You're in a 4-game winning streak right now. Stanford Cardinals, they haven't lost at home yet. They're 3-0 at home. Played a lot of road games. But you're looking at it, Pitt's got a 6-2 record. Stanford has a 3-5 record. Pitt should go there and win. I mean, I don't think that they're going to lose this game. I don't see how that's going to be even possible.
14.5-point favorite.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Is that a little high? Or you think that's
not with the way they're playing?
I was going to say, I think I'm okay with it.
You look at their last games, I mean, 53, 30, 34, 48, 34. I mean, they're putting up numbers, man.
Yeah. Stanford, their defense has been very inconsistent on the road. And they've been on the road a lot. But they've been pretty good at home. And that was a key component of their victory, their recent upset against Florida State, was their defense played really well at home. I don't know. I don't think it's going to matter, to be honest with you. I think Pitt's going to roll them. I think, I'm looking at, Stanford's offense is not good. They've struggled to score this season. They're only averaging 19 points a game.
Yep.
They don't have a strong offense. At home or on the road, like I said, they've got defensively, they play good at home. On the road, not so much. But I don't think that's going to matter. I don't think. I think Pitt's defense, it's going to be you're on this 4-game win streak, largely because of the defense and the offense, but largely because of what the defense has been able to do. It's going to pose a challenge for that Cardinal offense, in my opinion. I just think Pitt's a clear favorite. They're on a hot streak. Stanford, like I said, they're a different team at home. And they have a slim bowl game hope, but I mean, and they probably are looking to keep that alive, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't think that they're going to be able to run with Pitt. So
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I hope you're both correct, just so you know.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Let's pick it. Ed, start with you. What do you what's going to be the score of this game?
Correctly. I'm just looking at the over under just to make my pick accurate. 6:30 p.m. on the coast. I mean, I think it looks very favorable.
3 p.m. Eastern, right?
3:30 Eastern. Yes, it's a 12:30 start.
Yeah.
Over under is 51. It looks like a 40 to 21 Pitt.
Daniel Berry, happy Wednesday. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, Daniel.
Yo.
Nice to hear from you.
Yo. 40-21 Pitt.
40-21 Pitt. Okay. Trace.
47-24.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to go 38-10 Pitt. I think they beat them by 28 points. So.
Yeah, I don't see much out of that Stanford offense.
I don't either.
So even if the Pitt offense somehow bumps or so.
Yeah. And I mean, I was looking at the preview on this, and they're like, well, yeah, Stanford's defense is their offense is not good. They're scoring on average 19 points a game. Their defense is terrible on the road. It's slightly better at home. Okay, well that doesn't really, with Pitt and how they've been thus far, that doesn't really if I'm a Stanford Cardinal fan, that's not really giving me much hope. I'm just right. Throwing it out there. So,
I agree.
Yeah. So, but all right, let's go ahead and move on to the Penguins here. Tough loss last night. I mean, you got the loser point in the shootout, 3-2 against the Flyers. A little chippy there at the end. How about that, huh?
Always chippy with them.
Yeah, there was a little bit of cheap shots on the Flyers there. I know we have it's a wrap. I know that they're Flyers fans, but
it's Flyer country.
Yeah, I mean that was that's. I mean, hey, I'm going to be honest. That's just kind of what you want to see, right? I mean, isn't that what you kind of want to see with it? Hasn't this rivalry kind of like cooled off a bit in recent years?
No,
they have. No, it's not. No, they have. You're not seeing the chippiness and the cheap shots anymore in the last.
It's not really a rivalry when one team is horrid,
right?
Flyers haven't been relevant in years.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, they haven't been in the playoffs. It's been longer. It's been way longer than the Penguins. I think it's been 6 years.
Well, Ed, how old were you when they last won Lord Stanley?
I was
5 years old. Ed was.
4 or 5 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it like yesterday.
It's been 50 years since they've won. So yeah. I mean, it was good hockey. I mean, I tell you what, it was good hockey. I thought there was Brazeau once again. This guy, man, how about that? I mean, this guy is just amazing. A couple things. Let's talk a little bit about some other news with the Penguins. Rickard Rakell injured. He took that shot Saturday against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and he's broke his hand. They said 6 to 8 weeks. So he underwent surgery. They said 6 to 8 weeks. That's not too bad. I mean, you're going to see him back. It's probably they're saying probably by the end of November, early December. He's going to be back in the lineup. So that's okay. Let's back it up a game here. Let's talk about the Blues. They hosted the Blues on Monday. Crosby recorded his 1,700th career point during a 6-3 win over the Blues. I thought that was a very good win. Blues are a pretty young team, and they were able to skate with them. I was very, very pleased to see what they were able to do against the Blues. How about that fan falling from the freaking upper level? That is crazy. I know exactly where that was, too.
Yeah.
So off the upper level, landed on another fan, and then fell another whole level, is what I understand, right?
Yeah, he fell. He went from 3 to 2, and then from 2 to 1. Yeah. So
wow.
Mac was there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I know he was in serious condition. I don't know the details. I mean, hope prayers go out to him and everything like that. I mean, it's just it's crazy. So I don't know. What do you? I mean, I want to talk about this. I think the Penguins. I mean, they're very. I mean, I was just listening to the NHL radio today at Sirius XM, and they were talking about that's the big news in the Eastern Conference is how good the Penguins are doing. I mean, a lot of people, including myself, didn't expect them to get off to the start that they're getting off on. I know it's early, but it's promising to look at. What do you guys think?
Well, you got to, right, Ed? Because they're older. They're not going to be able to do it later.
I think their Achilles heel is always going to be goaltending. Until they figure that out, they're just not going to be cup contenders. I think they can keep this going for a while. The thing is also, again, brand new coach, nobody knows his tendencies. His line changes and mix up on lines is taking people off guard, and that's how they're succeeding. You throw that youth in there, man. You got to have youth, and they have some, and they throw it in there. That's how you win.
And it's working well. The chemistry's there with it.
And he's not afraid to change anything. He's not a change, which never happened with the other gentleman. But again, they don't have a lot of tape on him. But keep it going, man. Maybe they'll get a goaltender one of these days.
Well, they also have that young guy that's doing well down in it might even be Wilkes-Barre. Yeah.
The Russian.
So maybe he can come up later on in the season.
Actually, last time I checked, they were number 1 in the AHL in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. Sheloff, I think, is doing well. I thought he played well last night. I mean, there was a shootout goals. There was a couple. He could have. I don't know. He had some. He should have stopped that one with the left pad. But I thought overall he played pretty well last night. I like Sheloff. I think he's better than Jari. I think he's more consistent than Jari. Don't care what people say. Regardless, I mean, Rakell's out. He's going to be out. Dan Muse shuffled the lines. You have the Hollander, Crosby, Rust line, which I think has been productive. That second line though it's shocking to me how productive they've been, especially Brazeau. I mean, the Brazeau, Malkin, Mantha. I mean, right. They've really. I tell you what, Brazeau, he's a big guy. He's that net front presence. I talked about this before.
Yes, that's exactly it, Billy.
Yeah, he's that net front presence, but he's making. I really, in a way, I think that it's making Malkin's game a little. It's making it easier for Malkin to kind of, because Malkin kind of just can sit back, and he doesn't have to worry about constantly trying to be the one to make the play. they have very good chemistry. That second line to me has had very good chemistry. The Novak, Kindle, Koivunen line, another great line. When you look at defensemen, that first pairing, Witherspoon and Carlson. Witherspoon, that guy's he's a chippy guy. Shea and Letang, I think, play well together. Dumba, and I tell you what, that fourth line, Dewar, Lizotte, and Achari, I tell you what, that's a tough line. That's a grinder line. Dewar's another kid that can score. Achari is tough. He's gritty. He can get under your skin. I mean, you say what you want to say. I mean, I think that this things are looking good right now. Now, like I said, it's early in the season. What do I always say? You got to give it to like Thanksgiving or the first week of December to kind of really know where you're at. But I tell you what, I don't see them faltering. I really don't.
As long as they stick with it, with the system here, and they don't like peter out. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I think hopefully it's just gonna get better. You've got tomorrow night. You're at Minnesota facing the Wild. I don't even know where the Wild at right now. Ed, can you look that up real quick?
Yes, sir. I don't think they're doing very well, sir.
Yeah.
We'll tell you one second. There we go. Get the Wild.
But I tell you what, I give kudos to. I was a little apprehensive when they hired him, but I give him kudos. I think his lines have been stellar. I think he's putting guys in.
They're 3-5-3.
9 points, Minnesota.
Yeah, so they're a pretty bad team. So I mean, they should win that game. I mean, you should win that game, no problem.
They're on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, I just I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But I tell you what, I like what I'm seeing. I like I like what I'm seeing.
I like it a lot.
So, but
it's at least fun. It's unexpected, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, especially because it's a little bit grindy. You know what I mean? It's not exactly like finesse like we've been used to that they've done in the past. They're kind of getting after it this year. It's fun to watch.
Well, I talked about how I like his line pairings, and I just think that he's putting the youth with the
youth.
Yeah,
mixing it with the veterans well.
Yeah, he's mixing it in well. He's kind of looking at what the veterans, what they can do, and what they're good at, and he's kind of like, okay, these youthful guys would fit good with this. They would fit good here, and I think it's working. I think it's looking good. I just think it's working.
So he's a people reader. That's what you like about him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I so far so good. Like I said, the way he's been doing his lineups, I think have been good. I think
no complaints. All right.
Yeah, I mean, am I crazy? Does Malkin seem like it's like almost like he's playing more free. He's not like, you know what I mean?
And he's not frustrated.
Well, he is taking some penalties, though. I gotta say, he has taken a few dumb penalties, but that's kind of to be expected.
Not as much as normal.
Right. All right. So we've got Ray Fittipaldo joining us. So we're going to shift and talk some Steelers here. And there he is, Ray Fittipaldo. What's going on tonight, Ray?
I'm good, guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
Welcome back, sir.
Nice to see you again.
Good to be back.
All right, Ray. So we covered Pitt football. We covered some Penguins, and now we're ready to get into what everybody's kind of talking about in this town is the Steelers.
You ready for some pepper?
All positive tonight, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We've got questions, and I know you've got answers, so we'll get right to it. I guess I'll go first. Ray, they acquired Kyle Duggar.
Yeah.
Is he I guess this is a two-part question. A, is he the right playmaking safety that we need? And B, how in the hell are the Steelers going to utilize him?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's 6'1", 216, so he is a run-stopping safety in the mold of Deshaun Elliott. That's why they went out and got him. Obviously, they weren't happy with Chuck Clark. or Juan Thornhill or Jabril Peppers, who also came from the Patriots, 6 or 7 weeks ago. In terms of how they're going to use him, he wasn't there today, guys. So I guess he couldn't get a flight on time. So he already missed today's practice. So let's say he's out there Thursday, Friday. I have a hard time believing he's going to have any kind of a big role this week. Now, down the road, if he's able to handle the defense, I think there's potential there for him to maybe fill in while Elliott is out. But I think in the meantime, it's going to be more piecemeal. You'll see Chuck Clark, you'll see Jabril Peppers, and you might even see a little bit of Duggar this week if he can get up to speed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got a big need right now at safety. I mean, I guess, Ray, one more follow-up, I guess. Jalen Ramsey, we expected him to see him at free safety now, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. We're only, 1 day into prep for this week. It would probably simplify things if you put him at one position. If you wanted him to be the communicator in the back end, he could probably handle that, even though he's been here, for only 3-4 months. So you could do it that way. I would argue, and I think others would argue, losing that versatility might even hurt your defense more. He's a good slot corner.
Yeah.
Even though he hasn't played up to expectations as an outside corner, he's still probably better than anyone you got. So it is going to be interesting to see how they go about divvying up those safety duties. You could use Juan Thornhill at free if you wanted to use Jalen in the slot. Thornhill's been up and down. So no matter what, guys, this is a big blow, losing Elliott. The Steelers believe he's got a chance to come back this year, but it's not going to be for a while. It's probably going to be December, maybe even mid to late December before he gets back. So they're going to have to try to do something to get by in the meantime while he's out.
Yeah, I tell you what. Talking about Thornhill, we do our pre and post game show. Me and John Phillips from North Park Lounge, and I'm there watching that game. And I tell you what, how many times did Thornhill just terrible tackling? I mean, it was just I don't know. I'm guessing you guys saw that as well. I thought there was a lot of arm tackling and just not, but so.
Well, the most depressing stat, if you're a Steelers fan coming out of that game, Love had 360 yards passing, 244 after the catch. That's a franchise record under Mike Tomlin. So, I mean, when you talk about the tackling, you're spot on. It was really bad on Sunday night.
Yeah. It was. It was just. I'm there. I'm just like beside myself watching that. So, go ahead, Ed.
All right. So talking defense, hindsight being what it is, obviously 2020. Did they have any regrets for getting rid of Minka? Because he clearly was not the problem. He was and oftentimes he was the eraser, and they forget that a lot. He was there to do the PBUs, and he was the last person. Obviously, he got trucked by King Henry, but everybody does. So he clearly was not the problem. Did they have any regrets whatsoever?
I think a lot of people in that building really valued Minka. I think he was a great teammate. Maybe his skills eroded a little bit in terms of him just being that playmaker back there. You saw the interceptions and the forced fumbles and the fumble recoveries kind of disappear from his game. So there was a thought in the front office, paying this guy $17, $18 million a year. We're not getting those turnovers. So I think that's part of the reason why he's gone. But they were bad at the end of last season. But if you take 2024 on the whole statistically, they're not as bad as what they are through 7 games this year. So, there probably is something to your point there. I think what you're seeing, guys, is the Steelers have an older defense.
Right.
And a lot of times when you have guys like Ramsey and Slay and some of these other guys, Chuck Clark, like one of the advantages of having older players is like what they lack in 40 times speed now is made up for in experience and knowing where guys are, knowing where you have to be. I just think they're having such a hard time learning this defense and getting on the same page. You're erasing that component of having a vet on the team, and it just appears right now that they're, things are passing them by. They're getting beat bad. I don't know if you guys saw the Tucker Kraft touchdown on Chuck Clark. I mean, it wasn't one step. He beat him by 3 steps.
3 steps. Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
He's not that fast.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just bad right now in the back end. A lot of people are blaming the pass rush, and I suppose you could do that a little bit, but the ball's getting out so quick. I mean, these quarterbacks are hitting their back foot on 3 steps, and the ball's out. So I just think the big issues are in the secondary, and they haven't fixed it yet. And now you're compounding it by an injury to maybe your most important player. Things are pretty grim right now.
And now you got the 7-1 Colts coming in.
The best running back in the NFL. So having said all that, what's the hesitancy to move Watt around? Why? Why just the left side? Why? Everyone else of his caliber goes everywhere. Micah, he changed the course of the game by himself, and he didn't even rush half the time. Why don't they move him? His brother moved a lot. Myles Garrett moves all the time. Parsons moves. So does Hutchinson. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys when I was on with you in the spring or the summer, but when TJ got here in 2017, he played both sides. I want to say James Harrison lined up where he wanted to, and TJ was forced to play both sides. And then 2018 comes around, James Harrison's gone, and TJ just comes out and says, hey, listen, I'm most comfortable on the left side. That's where I see the game the best. It's a comfort level thing. It really is. He feels like he plays his best football from the left side because that's where his line of vision is the best. It's not that he can't play on the right side. He's just not as comfortable over there. So it really is a feel thing. But, you guys are right. Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, a lot of these edge rushers move around, and it can be an advantage for a team. But, to this point in the season, even though they said they were going to explore that over the summer, it really hasn't come to fruition.
All right, last one for me. Who is their best player on defense?
You're going to have to make me go through the whole starting 11 now. It's no one in the secondary, right? Yeah. Okay, we got that. Patrick Queen, no. Peyton Wilson. I thought Peyton Wilson played better, but no, he's not consistent enough. Would I be out of line saying Nick Herbig through 7 games?
Not at all. That's who I picked.
That's who I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's telling. With all that money on that defense, it's telling.
Yeah.
That's a great segue too, Ray. So I also think Nick Herbig is doing exceptionally well this year. But what's puzzling is when Highsmith comes back, Herbig is gone, and all of a sudden we have no pass rush anymore. What do we got to do to get some kind of pass rush here? Because Herbig seemed to inject it, and he gets pulled out. I don't know what to do with that information there.
Yeah, I mean, what did he have, 20 or 24 snaps in this last game against the Packers?
Yeah.
It's very reduced, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's reduced. It's reduced when he was playing for Highsmith, obviously, because he was starting. I don't know that it's terribly reduced when he was number 3, but it seems like now he's back to being number 3 when Terrell Austin and Mike Tomlin came out and said, this guy deserves more playing time. We have to find ways to get him on the field. And maybe they think 20 or 25 plays is enough, but when you're not getting to the quarterback,
you got to try something different.
You do. And like he's very twitchy. Like Alex is a good player. Alex is more methodical in his pass rush. He's gonna beat you just by relentless energy and second or third move. He's gonna get home. With Nick Herbig, he could beat you within 1.5 or 2 seconds. That's his game. That's how twitchy he is. So I'd like to see more of him. I think if you want to project this down the road, the move is probably going to be to sign Herbig over the offseason, and maybe you look to trade Highsmith, who's got 2 more years left on his contract. But, that's well down the road. Over the final, 10 games of the season, they got to find a way to get Nick Herbig more playing time because, as we mentioned, he's one of their best defenders on a pretty bad defense.
I mean, is there any talk of scheme changes at all? I feel like since Coach LeBeau left, that we sort of keep dropping the ball with this defense that he left us with that did very well, and our adjustments aren't there. Our players aren't learning it, and the other teams seem to be saying we're doing the same things over and over again, and they know what's coming. So, I mean, are we looking to do anything different?
Yeah, if you listen to some of the national commentators, it's a very predictable defense.
Yep.
Joe Flacco's had their number for years, so
Yeah.
let's put Joe aside. Let's put that game aside.
Right.
Short week on a Thursday night on the road. Maybe you can find a way to explain that away. But for that to happen against the Packers, I mean, they got some good weapons, but I don't know about you guys. They made Tucker Kraft look like Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
He's
not that good.
They made him look like a great player. Christian Watson catches that ball down near the 10-yard line. I had been injured all year. That was his first game. I mean, and he's out there making plays. So, Jordan Love's a good quarterback. I don't want to discredit him, but that's the same team that had a hard time beating the Arizona Cardinals the week before, and they came in here and looked like world beaters. Certainly in the second half, 28 points in the second half. You never used to see that happen against the Steelers defense.
That's good. The adjustments, they're adjusting against us, and we are not countering it.
No, not at all. And Mike said this week, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We will get a chance to interview Terrell Watson tomorrow. The coordinators always do their media briefings on Thursday. Now, the heat's on Terrell a little bit. His defense is struggling, and it certainly didn't end last season well. But I think we all know that Terrell he's the DC, but he's following Mike Tomlin's lead, and Mike Tomlin wants the defense a certain way. And right now, whoever you want to blame Austin, fine. You want to blame Tomlin, that's fine. But no matter who is calling the plays or putting together the game plans, it's not nearly good enough right now.
So it's a copycat league everywhere, right? And all these other teams have this, they call it the sports car package, where they put their 4 fastest linemen there and just say go. And San Francisco does it a lot. Other teams do it a lot. I know Kansas City does it a lot. They don't seem to look at anything and do anything, out of the ordinary. If the defense is so difficult, dumb it down, right? Get the ball. Go get the ball. It's reminds me of the replacements. I need the ball. Danny, I need the ball. Just go get the freaking ball. I don't understand how they get away with this for so many years. I mean, does he actually have a shelf life, Tomlin? Or is this going to be in perpetuity until he says, maybe next year?
I think a lot of people in Pittsburgh probably think, they could have made a move 2 years ago, 4 years ago, just because things were maybe a little bit stale. But the Rooneys don't think that. They keep signing him to extensions. And I know you guys know this, but it's worth repeating. He's making elite NFL head coaching money. I don't know the exact number. I think it's upwards of $20 million a year or around there. And he signed through the 2027 season. So even after this year is over, he's got 2 more years to coach this football team. And that's 99% going to happen because the Steelers never, ever. I can't ever remember them walking away and having to pay a coach not to coach, certainly for that amount of money. It's never happened.
It makes you wonder why didn't they go year to year, prove it year every year? Because even if they get to the playoff, they can't win a playoff game this year. And then, where are you with quarterback? Because Rodgers leaves. There's no plan whatsoever. Howard's not
getting any better, huh?
Right. And guess what the defense is? Another year older next year. I don't understand the mindset. Well, they're looking more and more like the Pirates, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, eventually they are going to have to realize, hey, this isn't working with the defense, and maybe this year is the tipping point. I looked it up today. 5 players who started against the Packers, 5 of the 11 starters were 30 or older. Yeah. They are I think they're one of the top 5 oldest defenses in the NFL. I think overall roster-wise too, I think they're a top 10 in terms of the age on their team. And unfortunately for them, it's important positions, like guys who have been really good players, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Highsmith, I'll put in that category. And even though I think he's only 28 or 29, a lot of their older players are getting paid and they're not producing to the level of their of their salary, and that's really, looking at it from a broad view, from a salary cap business perspective, it's really hurt them this year.
Yeah, return on investment.
Yeah. All right, Ray. So, just getting back to this whole Terrell Austin whole, thing. I look at it like this. He has a big say in the defense, but ultimately Mike Tomlin has a hand in it. And Mike Tomlin has had a hand in this defense, really, I think you could safe to say, ever since LeBeau left.
And that's Dick's last season was 2014. So, yes, for more than a decade.
Correct. So, is there – I mean, if this gets really – if they don't make corrections here, could we – could he be ultimately the scapegoat in all this?
Tomlin?
No, I mean Terrell Austin.
Yeah, I mean Austin's contract is up after this year. Coordinators, I think they're usually if you're a coordinator and you're new, you sign a 3-year deal like Arthur Smith did. But if you're a guy like Austin who's been here for a while, you just always go on 1 or 2 year deals. So I think Austin signed a 2-year deal a couple of years ago, so he's up after this year. So you're right. He's probably going to be the guy who's to blame. And probably to your point, the point you're trying to make is it going to be all that different if they hire somebody else? Like it's not like like there's defensive coordinators like Terrell Austin who have to work under the framework of a guy like Mike Tomlin who wants to be involved in the defense. And then there's defensive coordinators like Jim Schwartz in Cleveland, Vic Fangio, right? Like guys who
Flores.
Flores.
Yeah.
Dick LeBeau was. I mean, guys who stand on their own. Obviously they listen to the head coach in important situations, but they own that defense. That defense is theirs. And that's just not the case with Terrell Austin.
Will they hire somebody like that, do you think?
No, I don't. As long as Mike Tomlin's the coach, no. That's Mike's making $20 million a year. Yeah. He's not going to give up that power. He's worked how many years to get that power to have a hand in the defense, unless he admits that it's not working anymore and he takes the blame. I don't see it happening. But like if you're asking me, do the Rooneys make him do that? I don't think they can make him do that. No. Because if he says no, then what are they going to do? Shell out $40 million for him not to coach?
So you're around him a lot. Is he a competitive guy by nature?
Terrell Austin or Mike T?
Mike T.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why does he want to keep losing? I don't get that.
From his perspective, he thinks, it's a tough league. We're winning 9 or 10 games a year, and we're finding ways to win. I think that's his mindset. I think the Rooneys kind of get caught up in that too. There's teams like the Cleveland Browns and the Bengals and the Jaguars who don't know how to do it. You could argue the Steelers don't know how to do it for 15 years now. It's been 15.
Yeah, and all those teams you mentioned have won playoff games.
Yeah. They haven't been there in 15. They haven't won a Super Bowl in 17 years. But I think if you ask people inside that building, they'll say, "Hey, we're still doing okay. We're winning games. We're getting to the playoffs." And inside that building, I'm not saying within the fan base, they see value.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
Ray, I heard Valdez Scantlin worked out. Is he going to come? I mean, and if he does come, is he going to jump in right away? Is he going to be on the practice squad? What are you hearing around?
He's not signing this week. He's got some kind of a
injury, right?
Yeah. Was he with the 49ers? Is that who he was with?
I believe so, yeah.
Whatever he was with, I think he got released with an injury settlement or something went down there.
Yeah.
So he still has a lingering issue. He should be good next week if they want to sign him. But if they do sign him, he's going to go in the practice squad and they'll onboard him in that manner. And then if he can get up to speed with the offense, which he should be able to with having that relationship with Aaron Rodgers. So if they do sign him to the practice squad, then he'd be an obvious guy that you would bump up to the 53 at some point. Scotty Miller is injured at this point. Not sure if he's going to be back this week or not. He's he had surgery for a broken finger. So even if he is back, he's not going to be comfortable. So, yeah, you could probably make room for a guy like him. Even if Scotty comes back, I mean, Scotty was playing, 10 snaps a game? Wasn't like he was a big part of the offense. I'm sure if he does get on the team, Aaron's going to lobby for him. And, yeah, eventually he would be used. But don't look for that to happen this week. I think we're another week or two away from that.
Okay. Yeah, because I knew because I had heard he was injured, and that's he was released from his last team, like you said, with an injury settlement. So there is a lingering injury out there, from what I understand. I didn't ask you this before, but Kyle Duggar, I mean, is he going to be able to pick up his defense quickly? I mean, that's what I'm worried about with it. What is he? 29? He's 29, I think, right?
He's 29 years old. He had a fairly significant ankle injury. Yeah, exactly. He had a fairly significant ankle injury that reports out of New England. He's not the same player he once was. Take that with a grain of salt. Who knows? Right. But here's how I look at all these trades, right? And they got Preston Smith last year for the Packers. It was like Preston Smith, and then it was a swap of late round picks, like a 6 and a 7. So it's the same this year. So I don't have high expectations for Kyle Duggar because they basically were given him. Right. They don't have to pay him next year. It's basically, if he comes in and he's good, great. That's kind of like a shot in the dark. And if he doesn't work out, they don't have to deal with him next year. So, I mean, it's kind of like a no risk move unless you really value 6th-round draft picks. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you get guys like Antonio Brown and Tom Brady once every 30 years, but for the most part, those picks aren't going to be significant players on your roster.
Right. Yeah. They also signed Derek Force, safety, to the practice squad.
Correct. Yeah. They also signed John Reese Plumlee.
Oh, yeah.
He was with the team in camp last year, so he's a receiver on the practice squad. And they also signed Jack Driscoll, a guard tackle who was a former 4th-round pick of the Eagles, obviously a history with Andy Weidel. So Driscoll is on the practice squad now too, and obviously once he learns the offense, maybe he'll be a guy who's up on the 53 if there are any more injuries with Sayamalu or anyone else in the interior there.
So are they going to move any players at the deadline?
I don't think so. I don't think that's on the table. I mean, somebody brought up today, could they move a guy like Slay? If they want to bench Slay and play Eccles, which they did late in that game.
Yeah.
Maybe, if Slay requested it, maybe you would do a move like that. But like people who want to move Highsmith now, they're not going to move Highsmith now. I'm not saying they won't do that in March, but they're not going to move Highsmith now. So, yeah, I don't think – I think they're in the – like Mike said yesterday, they're in the buyer mode. I don't think they're in the selling mode. And that's really that's the way Omar's always been, except for, what was it, his first year they kind of cut bait with Chase Claypool, and that really didn't hurt them. I think they ended up, on the right side of that deal. He was out of the league within a year, and that they used that pick on Joey Porter. Say what you want about Joey Porter, but he's been a better pro than Chase Claypool.
Oh yeah. So they wouldn't package Highsmith and make a splash for a big time wideout?
I don't think so. I just think their offense it's so tight end centric now. Like if you go out and let's just say you go out and try to get a guy like Chris Olave, right? The Saints are selling. They should be in their position. If you do that, then you got DK. You got to feed DK. You got Olave. You got to feed him. Mm-hmm. You got Freiermuth who you're paying, and Jonnu Smith who you're paying. There's a lot of mouths to feed. There's a lot of big salaries. People don't realize Jonnu Smith is making $8 or $10 million a year. Freiermuth $12 million. DK obviously $30 million. I haven't looked too deep into what Olave's contract is, but he's probably making a pretty penny. So there's a lot of mouths to feed there, and the way Arthur Smith operates on offense, he'll make it work with, you look at the stat sheet after a game, 7, 8, 9 guys had catches. That's just the way he runs his offense.
Yeah. Well, they've been running a lot of 13 personnel, and I think that's just because of protection. They want that, What about Sayamalo? I mean, I mean, it's not as bad as what they said, right? The injury.
No, like when you hear a pectoral injury, you're kind of like,
yeah, right.
Season ending, or it could be, quite some time. He did not practice today. Probably has an outside chance of playing on Sunday against the Colts, but I don't think he's a candidate for IR or anything like that either. I think he'll be back in short order. But yeah, for this week, Spencer Anderson bumps inside the guard. You got to figure out who your extra tackle is, because that jumbo personnel package has been so good for you. You don't want to go away from that.
I know. That's what I'm worried about. I'm concerned about that. Could we see a lot more 13 personnel against the Colts, you think?
They're going to have to outscore the Colts. I mean,
how do you slow them down?
Right. What are they doing on for the running back? What are they going to do? For Taylor.
I know. Hey, listen, you're probably not going to play nickel a lot, right, even though they got guys like Pierce who could hurt you, and Pittman and Warren. I mean, they'll be a nickel, like third and medium, third and long. But I think Jonathan Taylor has to be the focal point. So I think you'll see Holcomb, and I think you're going to see Malik Harrison too. They brought Malik Harrison in because he was a run-stopping inside linebacker. They got to make a call on him this week. Either he comes back onto the 53-man roster, or they shelve him for the rest of the season. I think they're going to play him. The defense hasn't been good. You might as well see what this guy can do. Cole Holcomb's been okay, but what's the hurt in trying to, play Harrison a little bit and see if he's any better against the run?
I think their best defensive asset against the run is that crap field they're on. Is the NFL going to do something to them for that, or
no? I mean, it's amazing. They resodded that thing.
It still
there was one game on it the day before.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I'm in the press box, and maybe I had a better view. I don't know how it came across on television.
Oh, crap.
Between the numbers, there were like bare spots already. So people make excuses. You can't grow grass in this region of the country. After
they do it in Lambeau. They do it at Lambeau. I don't want to.
I guess the argument in Lambeau is, and that's true. That's very true, because Roger said that.
Yeah.
I guess the argument in Lambeau is they don't have a team like Pitt or high school teams playing on it like you do in Pittsburgh. So,
well, I get it. But I tell you what, I lived up in Wisconsin for 3.5 years, and that's a different kind of winter. Let me tell you. And it's colder early and it's colder later. We had 1.5 feet of snow April 28th. So it's I don't want to hear it. I mean, it's they do a good job with Lambeau. I'm going to run this by you, Ray. See if I'm accurate on this assessment. Let's talk Danny Dimes. A lot of questions as to why he's doing so good this year. When I look at it, I've watched a bunch of his. I've went back, and that's nice about having NFL Plus. You can watch those condensed games. But it seems to me like Steichen, I think, is really he's really good. He's implemented a really good system for Jones. It seems to me like the scheme is basically they're attacking different coverages, specific coverages. And, if the primary's not there, he has options to check down. Obviously, you've balanced it out with a good running game with Taylor. But is that a fair assessment? I ran that by Zig Fracassi and on our pregame show on Sunday, and he agreed with me. He said, "Yeah, that's a fair assessment, Bill." But
I think first and foremost, guys, you have a runner like Jonathan Taylor. That's a huge thing for a quarterback. And Daniel Jones, and he was a top 10 pick. I'm not disparaging him, but and he had his moments in New York, led them to the playoffs one year. But for the most part, they could never surround him with really good players. Now you got Jonathan Taylor, who I think is a top 3 running back in the league. You got Tyler Warren, who I think is going to be a top 3 tight end, maybe by the end of the year. That guy, he's that good. And then you got Pittman and Pierce and some other guys who can really expose you at receiver. So when you when you design an offense with talented weapons around a good quarterback, I think it really helps the quarterback excel. And I think that's what you're seeing with Jones this year. In terms of the coverages, I mean, they're going to see everything. I mean, they've been so explosive. It's obvious they've beaten man, they've beaten zone. And you hit the nail on the head. Steichen is a really good offensive coach. Yeah. Maybe didn't have the right pieces. The first couple of years didn't have the quarterback. Now he does, and it looks pretty good from afar.
He came in last year to what the hell the name of the stadium was last year? Acrisure. He came in last year with the Giants, and it was 26-22, and they could have won. I don't remember if you remember that game, and he had a really good game too. So,
well, I mean, for quarterbacks, it's like been escaped from New York. It's like
that's right.
It's like Kurt Russell, escape from New York. I mean, it's just how many times have they had, have they chased quarterbacks, out of there?
Both New York teams.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. But I'm there. I tell you what, Ray, I don't know what to expect. I mean, it's not going to be. I don't know. I'm worried about. I don't know. I'm worried that not enough adjustments have been made on this defense. I'm not really worried about the offense. I mean, I'm just really worried that we could let this get out of hand really quick. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
What do they do if they end up with this 3-game stretch? Because right after that, they got to go to the coast and play another good running team. What if they come out 4-5? They got to do something coaching wise.
Yeah, I mean, if they come out of this 4-5, I don't think they'll. They did the thing with Canada a couple of years ago. Even that was there like a month left in the season.
Yeah,
like they weren't pulling that trigger in November. Right. I just don't see it happening. Listen, you look at the schedule; it is really tough. But even if they go 500-ish from this point on, they could probably be in contention for the AFC North Division title. Probably beat the Bengals at home, probably beat the Dolphins at home, find a way to win on the road against the Browns. That's 3 right there. And then you get 1 or 2 others, and you're probably right in the thick of a division race. So, they're not playing well, but neither are the Ravens, neither are the Bengals. Obviously, the Browns are. So sometimes that's the way it is in the NFL. Sometimes you just got to win a bad division, and that's the position they might be in this year.
Ray, do you sense anything? I know, because I know you're in that locker room. Do you sense anything from Aaron Rodgers on? I mean, I know he was frustrated, after this last game. Obviously, I mean, he wanted to win that game. He wants to win every game, but especially, that was facing his team that he was at the helm at for 18 years. I mean, do you sense any frustration from him? Because I know he takes a lot of blame. He took a lot of blame, in the press conference. He said, he has to play better. But do you sense any he's just, I don't know, just frustrated with, that they're putting points on the board. It's not like finally the offense is, is putting points on the board, but it's the defense is just having so much struggles. And do you sense it? I mean, is there anything, frustration there?
Not with us. Like in the locker room, he's saying all the right things. I think you guys saw, like when DK, I don't want to call it a drop, but I mean, he probably should have had that ball in the end zone. Oh, yeah. That was one of the drives they had to settle for a field goal. You saw how animated he was after that. So I think, he gets frustrated like any other quarterback on the field. But if you're talking about that carrying over into like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no, I don't think he's going to let that happen. He's probably like when you look at the Steelers' problems, like Aaron Rodgers is way down on the list. Like he's actually really, really well this year. And the offense, I mean, just look at Jaylen Warren. Like who can complain about him? Right. DK's been up and down a little bit. Tight end group has been good. I know it's not – people thought maybe Freiermuth was going to be the lead dog there, but if you look at the production overall from the tight ends, it's been good. So the offense overall, number 11 in the league in scoring.
Yeah.
They're number 3 in the league in red zone production, red zone touchdown percentage. So there's some really good things that they're doing. They just got to find a way to get the defense fixed. They don't even have to be. They don't have to be good. They could just be average, and I think they'd be in position to win a lot more.
The defense is equal and opposite of what you just said there.
Yeah.
And
they're like
I'm not
32nd and everything.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he's frustrated with the offense. I think there's they're happy with what they're doing offensively. I just it just seems like he's here now. He's in a good. I think it seems like they're production wise offensively they've got it going on, but the other side of the football not so much. And I don't know whether he's not going to probably say it, but I just wonder if there's any oh man, finally I'm clicking well on the offense, and now the freaking defense can't,
Yeah, I mean, listen, he was probably told, hey, just come here, get us 21, 24 points a game, we'll win a lot. Now he's in a position where he has to outscore people. Like if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm not frustrated by that. I'm looking at it, okay, hey, it's on my shoulders now. It's been on my shoulders for 18 years. Let's go do this. That's probably the attitude that he has more than being frustrated with the defense or anything like that.
Right. I mean, it's just it's been the highest paid defense for 4 years. I mean, and that's just I don't know. I mean, that's just that doesn't sit well with a lot of people. Trust me, these post game shows, it's like holy cow, like it's like we know, we see it too, like it's but so all right. Well, I guess let's do we want to pick this game here?
We can't make Ray pick it, but yeah, we'll pick
okay.
it.
All right.
Wait, you're up first.
Me? Oh my goodness. Jeez. 31-24, not the Steelers.
I'm going to say 30-20 Colts.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to say 27. I'm going to say 27-17 Colts. Hate to say that, but so I don't know. I'm hoping that some of these shortcomings on defense have been, rectified somewhat, but I don't know. We'll see. So, all right, Ray. Hey, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Good being on with you guys again.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Ray.
Yeah. Great to see you again, Ray.
So, all right, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We'll be doing Gridiron Weekly tomorrow night. Tune in at 8 p.m. And as always, we'll have the Steel City Sunday doing the pre and post game show. We'll start that at 9:00. So join us for that. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.